So, a huge part of emotional empowerment for me is almost like befriending your emotions, actually shifting the relationship to your emotions rather than labeling some as positive, some as good, some as bad, some as negative. They're really none of that. It's actually just our interpretation or conditioning that we've received of saying, like, this is bad and this is good, and I've got to be more of this, otherwise I won't be loved, accepted, or belong. Da di da di da. There's like lots of different stories and beliefs and fears around this. Like, if I'm angry, I'll be seen as an angry person, I won't be loved, I'll be abandoned, whatever it might be. Or maybe if I am angry, I'll hurt someone, or if I'm in my power, I might hurt someone. So we have all these stories and beliefs around why we don't, or why it's not safe to express certain emotions, or to a certain level. Like, I can be happy, but I can't be my full happiness because other people might feel bad around me because I'm so happy and they're not. Or I can't be my full pleasure because I'll be seen as a slut, or I'll be seen as whatever it might be. I can't be in my full like no and in my power around boundary setting because I'll be seen as a bitch and I'll be unloved or abandoned. So we all have these different kind of beliefs and stories and conditioning that is dictating our life and our reality and our inner experience. When it comes to emotional empowerment and really coming into your full expression, your full authenticity around your expression, being able to unapologetically just be you and express all the different emotions, all the things that you're experiencing in each moment, it really comes to shifting the relationship and befriending the different emotions. Knowing that emotion just means energy in motion, meaning it moves, it flows. It's not here to stay. If you lean into anger, you're not going to be angry forever. If you lean into grief, you won't be in grief forever. If you lean into happy or pleasure, you won't be there forever. The journey and of the emotions, they keep flowing and moving and changing, and that's the dance, the beauty of this human experience. We get to experience all of it. Some of that might not be very comfortable or very nice to experience. It might be a little bit sticky or a little like there's a lot of resistance or contraction or discomfort. But the funny thing is like there's discomfort with both, like quote unquote positive and negative. I experience a lot of discomfort with joy and with pleasure. So it's actually getting really curious about what does these emotions mean to us. So if there's like, say, even for a simple practice, you could do 3 or 4 emotions that you know that you struggle to really lean into and fully express. Just start with maybe 3 or 4 and even write down, like, if I fully express this, what will this mean about me? What will happen? What will happen to me? What's the worst case scenario if I fully express my pleasure, my sensuality, if I fully express my anger, my rage, if I fully express my grief, whatever the emotions are, what will this mean about me? And what will happen to me? And just sitting with your journal with that and just see what comes through, because it could be really, really insightful what actually comes through when you put pen to paper, when you ask these questions. It's like you're starting to open up the portal to the underworld of like these things that are deeply buried inside, like literally start to come up and out. And we're like, holy shit, I didn't even know that I believed that or that I was holding that inside of me. And we can start to alchemize and integrate and bring more light to this so that we are no longer controlled by it. We reclaim our power in that process. And we can start to hold a lot of compassion for ourselves, for these parts of us that have not felt safe to be in our full expression for very real and for very like very good reason. Like it makes a lot of sense when we really start to uncover why we're not in our fullest expression, why we're not allowing ourselves to feel certain emotions, why we're wronging certain emotions. It makes a lot of sense. And we can have so much more compassion. And then we can also shift that. We can start to change those beliefs, change those stories, change what it means about ourselves. And you can start to feel really empowered being in your fullest expression, being in your authenticity, and feel really strong in that, really safe in that. Like, I can be in this and I can hold myself in that because I'm no longer making it mean something about me, or I'm shifting what it means about me, and I'm shifting my relationship We just recently ran an amazing workshop called Own Your Wildfire, and this was specifically focused on your relationship with anger and rage. And we definitely touch on like the fullness of expression and how anger is really, it can be a portal to love, a portal to pleasure, really allowing yourself to feel more and to really be in your power. For me, I had this really cool experience while running that workshop where I felt myself embody the power in anger. Like, anger is a really crucial emotion, and it's what actually allows us to protect ourselves and protect our young, or protect those we care about. So when we have that instinctual, like, I need to protect, like, I'm in, maybe something unsafe is happening. And for me, I shared the experience where I was in a nightclub with my little sister, and there was a moment where she had like left where we were and I didn't know where she was, and I kind of went into high alert stage, found her, and she was with someone we didn't know, and they were like pretty much trying to tell me to back off. And this like power, like this anger, this intense like emotion came over me where I just felt my whole body just strengthen and this power move through my body. And it was like, it wasn't like, because sometimes we can get confused if anger means violence or anger leads to harm, but that's not what it was. It was power, and there was an energy that I emanated and I embodied that got us to safety. That it was like, Carly, it's time to leave. Let's go. And that anger was very palpable, it was very strong, and there was like this feeling like, no one's going to mess with me right now, no one's going to mess with my sister, we're going to leave and actually go to safety. And that was really, really powerful to embody in that workshop. And what I noticed is that when we got into the embodiment experience of owning your wildfire, owning your power, your anger, your whatever it is that's present for you, really being in that fullness, that wildness, that power, it just felt safe. There was like this deep sense of safety. I am safe to be in my expression. And what actually came through was like, I'm safe to be in my pleasure, I'm safe to be in my sensuality. And so the embodiment journey for me was really slow and sensual, and being in my body, being in slowness, being present, feeling the sensations of my body. Just from embodying that past experience of anger, high alertness, of protector, created a safety inside of me. And that's really what we're doing here, is by befriending and shifting our relationship to, for this example, anger. I now feel safe that if I need to protect myself, I can access that. I can access that power to protect myself, those around me, and get us to safety. Crucial. We need that, but too often we shame and wrong anger, and don't allow ourselves to feel that, and can often go into a collapse. And so as we're coming more into this emotional empowerment, it's like, all right, let me feel into 3 or 4 emotions that I really struggle with, and really leaning into that and exploring, what am I making this mean about me? What is the beliefs or the stories here? If I fully express this, what will happen? Really exploring that, and then you can really start to feel into, maybe, where did I learn this, and what do I need in order to shift this? Like, what is the kind of relationship I want to have with this emotion? And then we start to pendulate and titrate and really work with this. So I said in a previous video around pendulation and around meeting like your edges. So you go as far as you can, that's within your window of tolerance, that's working with what is in your capacity, rather than trying to like throw yourself in the deep end and going from like 0 to 100 of like, I don't express anger at all, and now I'm just going to punch pillows and scream and like rage about. It doesn't often like work like that, because it's too much for the nervous system. We've got to meet our edge where we are in this moment, really honoring that process rather than forcing or pushing, because there will still be parts that don't feel safe. And so we can become aware, but there's like, what, I'm aware of it, I understand it, but I still don't feel safe to go there, because we need to titrate that. We need to meet the edge, resource ourselves, meet the edge, resource ourselves. And as you do this more and more, your edge will expand, your capacity will expand, and you'll find that you're more able to access these different emotions. And in that, you're going to feel so much more aliveness, because you could be starting to have a question of like, well, why would I want to express anger? Or why would I want to feel more grief? Or like we might like, I don't want to feel the negative emotions, quote unquote negative. But if we don't allow ourselves to feel these emotions, we also block these quote unquote good emotions as well. So we're missing our aliveness, we're missing the passion and the intimacy and the connection and the love, the bliss and the joy. All of that gets cut off too. And we end up living in this kind of numb, dull state of being. And we're just kind of coasting through life. And I just remember when I was in that space and I was absolutely miserable. Like, for me, ignorance was not bliss. Like, when I was in that space of just numbed out, I was very depressed. And we spoke about this in Own Your Wildfire, our workshop. Was like that depression is like that depressing, like we're squashing down, we're pushing down emotions, we're holding it all at bay. And when we hold onto an emotion, when we repress it, suppress it, when we push it down, it gets locked in the body. And the longer it gets held there, the more dis-ease, illness that manifests physically in the body, the more challenges we experience with our health, not only physical health, but mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and we start to decline and deteriorate. So again, emotion is energy in motion. It's designed to move, and if we are preventing that movement, it gets louder and stronger, and it causes a lot of issues. If we can actually come more into this emotional empowerment and starting to move within your capacity, within your window of tolerance, to meet the edge and gently expand it, to allow these emotions to be liberated, to allow yourself to be liberated, you will experience incredible shifts, transformation, aliveness, healing, health, in so many levels. This is something you can definitely start to explore on your own through self-practice, through meditation, through breath work, through movement, whatever resonates for you. If you are someone that maybe is just getting started, or there's some deep stuff that you don't know how to touch on your own and it feels a little scary, it feels a little too much, maybe you don't have practices and you're not really sure where to get started, just feel free to reach out. I've got an abundance of guided practices, meditations, embodiment journeys, things that you can get access to. I also work one-on-one, I work with couples, and I have different options and things that could potentially really resonate and support you on your journey. So to really feel into what would be the best next step for you, I would recommend just reach out, pop a comment below, or send me a direct message. That way I can actually feel into what's going to best serve you, rather than just saying go do this one thing, because there are so many amazing practices that resonate for different people at different times. So breathwork might resonate for you deeply, and you can go and find a breathwork practice or a workshop or something, but that might not resonate. And so there's lots of different practices we can explore, but to do that deeper work, go into the underworld and those deep layers and really start to integrate the deep wounds and trauma and things that are really blocking that full expression, I highly recommend working one-on-one with someone, or in an intimate container like an online program. Finding someone that you feel safe with, that you resonate with, that you can really lean in and be supported and be held in that process is going to be amazing for you. So let me know below, pop a comment, reach out to me directly, let me know what resonated for you here, and if there's anything else I can do to support you, let me know. I'm so here for it.